Hi, I'm DJ Av of Trap Camp, and today we got something very interesting in front of us. We have the MPD32 and the MPD232, both made by Akai Professional, in front of us. These are MIDI controllers, and I kind of meant to have the same kind of workflow per se of like an MPC 2000 all the way up to a 2500, or just imagine, but within your DAW's workflow. So smash the like button if you like these kind of comparison videos, because you're in for a treat. And let's go ahead and talk about some stuff here. So the first thing, in the differences, at least, this is taller than the newer one. So the MPD32 is much taller, and it's about 11 and a half, maybe 12 inches tall, and this by length is about, which is much smaller, about 15 inches, 14. Yeah, I say about 15 inches, while this is about, I think, 16. Just guessing. 16 and a half inches long and about 10 inches tall. Yeah. So that's very much one of the bigger differences, and it kind of concerned me as far as its length, that if it was gonna fit into like your typical MPC rack or whatever, because it fits perfectly. And yeah, it fits fine. I wasn't too concerned, but it was a little bit of a worry of mine. But anyways, yeah, so that's one of the differences right here that I can express. And as you can see, the total body of this is much different. So as you can see, these pads have got great use. And these pads, when I first touched them or whatever, coming from the MPC 2000, I noticed a huge difference. One, they weren't as accurate as the MPC 2000. It is because the pad sensors themselves went from being squares to circle sensors, and you actually can feel that. So if you had touched the side of it, you had to touch it dead center, kind of, to make these things happen. I was very depressed about that, but that you can use the MPC 2000 or those type of pads that were thicker and taller and had that square sensor in it. Within this, I wasn't gonna modify it. I was in no type of mood to do so. And these pads right here are much tougher, but they seem like they're gonna be a little bit more accurate. I'm gonna see. We'll see, because I'm going to have a full review on this soon, very soon. But for the most part, they got with the times, and added lights in them so that people can have their light show as they produce. I guess that is a great perk. As you can see, they both have the fader knobs or whatnot. So we're saying 8 right here, so it's 8 right here. And this one, it had many different uses. You could turn on the time division and use it as long as you was using note repeat, and you can go by the different time divisions on those. The fader knobs didn't have anything to do with it, at least because they had no template for FL Studio in here for it to be fully functional, but it did work with FL Studio 8, and FL Studio 8 and up was when it really, they got into the MME or MMC codes or whatnot. So, it worked, but it had its flaw in terms of it being built for FL Studio. But yeah, so you get into that. On this, I see that they have the note repeats on there, and they have tap tempo, which is cool. So I have that faith in it. I see that they actually cleaned up and not have so many different definitions for these 8 buttons right here. So these are just straight time division now, and that's cool. The knobs are they're practically the same, it's just different in style, as you can see. And they're infinite running, that as it may, it's kind of cool, I guess, if it's like that or whatnot. But most of the time when you're using something, a function in a DAW or a soft synth, it's only going to be able to go 0 to 100 real quick and 0 to negative 100 real quick. So whatever, to each his own. And that's pretty much the same news here. I know the faders, even though this has been beaten up, very beaten up, which, you know, it lasts the test of time. So I'm really happy about, you know, how Akai makes the last. This doesn't feel any less cheap than this does, you know. So, you know, that's good that they kept the quality over the quantity type deal going on there. And you know, you still have the preset button, you still have the edit button and the global button. You know, all these control the LED screen, which is much bigger on this one than it is on the MPD232. We'll find out if that makes a huge difference. And, you know, however, this has a template for FL Studio. They finally, they've been listening to us complain about them not supporting a DAW that is as popular as the ones that are considered industry standards. So that's great that they did that. There is a slightly different, big difference within the transport buttons here. As you can see, they have cursor buttons right here. And I'm gonna pull up a little closer. The cursor buttons right here. Dang, that is super dusty. But yeah, you know, those are there. You know, you can go through the song or go through a loop or whatnot. Never found that useful. And then they have stop, play, and record, which, you know, you need that. On this, no, you don't. You have record and then you have sequence record. We'll find out how that affects FL Studio soon. And stop, play. One thing that is very, very different on this one, as you can see, is the control bank, ABC. Well, it's not different, but it has the control bank, so that's cool. You know, ABC, you know, and then ABCD for the pad bank. That has not changed on here, thank God. One thing that obviously you can see is that it has a sequencer built into it right here. But we're gonna find out if it's actually standalone. I mean, you know, it won't make or break what I got going on, but it might not be what you want if it doesn't have a built-in sequencer. There are some huge differences on MPD32 versus the MPD232. So that the MIDI in and MIDI out, and then you have foot switches and expression pedal, and then Kensington lock, and then USB, and then power. Let's look at this one. So you do have MIDI in, MIDI out, but you have to have this, and that comes with it. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know, but I guess it's to kind of implement the whole thin is good, you know, tradition or style of technology these days. But yeah, but these knobs, you know, these knobs are pretty. When we talk about the fader knobs are a little rough, but I guess that might be because they're new. But that's cool with me. I think, you know, that just helps you get more detail in whatever you're trying to mix or whatever. If you have this per se, the template works with FL Studio or whatnot, and it works with the insert mixer. We'll find that out, huh? But you know, that's cool. But you know, I see they added a power button. We'll see why. But yeah, you know, the push to enter and all that, they're pretty much the same. You know, they have niches in it, so you know they have that feel, that MPC feel. And then they added this thing, the cursors. I am very intrigued by how that's gonna work within FL Studio. Hopefully it does. And then, you know, you have extra things like sequencer on, sequencer off, sequencer edit, then time division, which you can press the time division button. Oh, so it does have time division button still. So good thing I actually looked at it from a closer point of view. And you know, I guess this still has double meanings or whatnot. We'll see how that works out. It didn't work out very well within its predecessor. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I covered everything from the comparison part. You know, this being thinner and this one being a much thicker, you know, old schooly type thing. You know, dusty roads. It's about to be RP'd. I'm not throwing away, but I'll probably give it away because it still works. It still works. Probably give it away to like a friend or something like that. I know. That'll probably be very intrigued with that. Probably use Reason or Ableton Live. But you know, if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments, please leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. It'll help me out immensely. And you know, we're gonna get into, you know, seeing what this baby is all about, you know, because that is what I really want to know. So yeah, the MPD232, MPD32, pardon my stuttering and whatnot. And yeah, there it is. So appreciate you guys. See you next video.